It was never about the money, although you need money for the mission. It was always about the mission.
I read a story about you going almost $500,000 into debt.
We had a rule. You can't turn on the heat in the house unless you build a fire. So you either wear a jacket or you build a fire. My wife started to have some health challenges after a mission trip and then got super sick and almost died.
Oh my gosh.
It's what lit a fire that hasn't gone out since.
When did you make your first dollar on YouTube?
George, it was wild. I mean, you talk about big money. I made $2.12 the first time side income started coming in.
You have followed our financial principles to gain financial freedom, financial peace, and you've become now a multi-millionaire?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? George Kamel here, and today is a good day because I'm about to hang out with an elite YouTuber, the one and only Sean Cannell. Sean is the CEO of Think Media and co-founder of Video Influencers, and he's the world's most watched YouTube strategist. His channels combined have over 2 million subscribers, and his videos have been viewed over 100 million times. And today he's joining me for another installment of Millionaires in Cars Getting Coffee. Cars don't make that sound. No, thank you. Okay. Especially Teslas.
Did you know I can customize my horn sound?
But before I pick him up, help me get my subscriber count just a skosh closer to Sean's by hitting those like, subscribe, and share buttons. All right, let's get this road on the show. Sean!
What is up?
Welcome.
Oh man, I'm pumped.
This is so exciting.
Here we go.
I never thought this day would come.
Well, here it is.
And we're here. We're doing it.
George Kamel, Sean Cannell, tour coming soon to the Panhandle.
Is this a new, like a white rapper tour we're doing?
No one, not even your parents, would want to see that.
Well, this is an exciting time. We're doing Millionaires in Cars Getting Coffee. We've hung out previously.
Yeah.
I've been on your YouTube channel, and now it's time for you to be on mine. And this is our best angle to get you on here because, number one, you're a very successful YouTuber, which is perfect because this is a YouTube channel. And number two, you have followed our financial principles to gain financial freedom, financial peace, and you've become now a multi-millionaire?
Yeah.
Like, is this true?
Yeah, it's weird.
You want to show me? I need like a bank statement, a net worth statement. We need proof.
Happy to verify all funds.
Show me the receipts.
Well, we'll get into all of that, but I kind of want to go back to the origin story of Sean, because everyone knows you, super successful YouTube guy, Think Media, but it wasn't always that way. So how did you get started? Like, was this 15 years ago you've been on this journey?
Yeah, so I've been doing video for 20 years, YouTube for 17. So
which is pretty much like since YouTube's inception.
Basically, like right after. And so I kind of feel like I didn't choose video chose me. Because I just started.
That's what they say about the thug life, right?
You know what it is? Get rich or die trying. But that's not my value system. But ultimately, my youth pastor handed me a video camera in a small town church an hour north of Seattle. There's like 16 kids in the youth ministry, and said, hey, start making video announcements. And George, these videos were very bad. You know, they were terrible.
But back in those days, like, it was like, oh my gosh, he made a video.
Like, I'm on the screen.
Yeah.
You know, like, look at
it. Was impressive.
It was. And then I started doing Sunday church announcements, not just youth ministry. So I did 2 videos a week while I'm waiting tables at Red Robin. Yes. Why we're a young broke couple, my wife and I.
And you were broke. What do you mean by broke? Like, are we talking in debt?
No, we weren't like driving into debt, except that we got married in 2005. And then we quickly bought a house without financial peace. In the culture of our church, there was a lot of people buying houses, and there was like this frenzy of like, it's appreciating, like just find a way to get into it. Just like, look at how much, because people had it, at least right then, there was such a boom. Someone's like, right, I made $55,000 in appreciation just in the last 6 months.
Like, why wouldn't you jump in on this?
Yeah, just find a way to get into it. And so with no education about we got into an 80-20 arm.
Oh boy.
And we bought a 1969 house in Marysville, Washington that was like a lemon.
So it needed a lot of work.
Oh my goodness. There's black mold in both bathrooms. Then it like needed a new roof. Then the drain field failed. It was wild how much stuff happened. Because it had baseboard heating. and a wood fire stove. And before we knew the
It's like Little
term,
House on the Prairie.
yeah, I know, we had roommates. We were house hacking, which was a good idea, I guess, before the term got popularized today.
Before there was TikTok to tell you how to do it.
Exactly. We had a rule. You can't turn on the heat in the house unless you build a fire. You can heat your bedroom because you have a small room. But baseboard heating is too expensive. So you either wear a jacket or you build a fire.
Wow. Okay, so I read the story about you going almost $500,000 into debt.
Yeah, well,
What happened there?
so we actually bought another house on
You
declared
kept yours, had a mortgage, got another mortgage.
with this idea that, okay, so we'll turn this one into a rental. Problem is, if like more money is going out than coming in, that's bad.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down.
So we find a tenant, but the appropriate rent for the house was like $1,000, so we were like $250 negative every month.
Oh gosh.
But not only that, washer and dryer goes out. This issue goes out, and so that is, I've heard it called maybe an alligator. That's burning a hole in our pocket, but still but just hang on, because appreciation.
What was happening with your marriage at this point and your actual normal day-to-day life as you're trying to, or were you building the business at this point, the YouTube business?
Well, not building the business. So my wife was actually more the primary breadwinner. She's nannying, waiting tables, working at Starbucks. I'm waiting tables, working at the church, eventually quarter time. And then the business I started a video production business and started doing wedding videos and some like web design work and stuff for others. But yeah, definitely had insane financial pressure. Our marriage was doing good, but this also was a time in our life when my wife started to have some health challenges after a mission trip and then got super sick and almost died.
Oh my gosh.
So in 2009, all of this stuff actually all hit kind of at the same time.
Came to a head.
Because we actually found ourselves in a hospital room for 6 days by our side and thinking about not just seeing my wife on a hospital bed, but the tenants had lost their job and stopped paying. So that house just had to go into foreclosure. We couldn't float that.
Oh.
And then the house we were living in, we're feeling crushed by that. And then the church that we were part of too had a moral failure, and some senior leaders mismanaged money, stole some money.
Which now affects your career and income.
Yeah, and so that fell apart as well. So I'm George, I'm like in that hospital, those 6 days.
Was that your rock bottom?
I think that my perspective is trying to see the opportunity in every problem, or just what good is it going to do to wallow in despair? Like,
So you're just resourceful, resilient. So
Let's get to
with
work.
every challenge, you're like, all right, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out.
and that was really the spark for me, because it also, I felt really challenged and even a little bit insecure as a man, where I was like, I'm seeing my wife, not only the pressure that was on her for finances, like I got to step up. It's what lit a fire that hasn't gone out since, to go all in on YouTube and figure out how to make money online in an ethical way, and that also was then still a journey. It's not like you don't go 0 to 6. I don't think you don't turn your side hustle all of a sudden.
Yeah, what was the trajectory to go from like, when did you make your first dollar on YouTube? Like, do you remember that moment, that day, that month?
It was right around then, but the next move we did, and the right move for my family, was a door open to move to Vegas to take a role as a director of communications at a church, with healthcare, with not a great salary, but like
benefits and a little more
stability, and then the commitment to, while I am doing the right thing for this season for my family, I am going to also then just really be diligent about working on my side hustle, which I did.
So you did it the
nonstop.
smart way. Full-time job, stability, while working on the side hustle, trying to gain some momentum with that.
Yep. And first dollar, I want to say, was right around 2011. And it was actually, you're not monetized yet for the YouTube Partner Program, where YouTube pays you for views when you have a small channel. But I signed up for Amazon Affiliates, the Amazon Affiliate Program.
Oh, yeah.
And after putting some videos out there and some people clicking on my links, George, it was wild. I mean, you talk about big money. I made $2.12 the first time side income started coming in.
That's a lot of dough.
But was it a light bulb moment? You're like, okay, well, if this thing scales and I grow up to this, it could be this much. Or was it like, okay, that's cute?
Huge light bulb moment, because I was like, I wanted to click my heels like a leprechaun. I was like, this is $2.12
It's
more.
what it represented.
Don't despise small beginnings. It's proof of concept. Like, I literally did just make money online. And I don't understand this yet. What if I could scale this up? What if I could learn how this works? I was like, okay, wait, make YouTube videos, connect it to a way of making money, $2.12. The thing here is like this proof of concept. If I figure out that process, get better at making videos, get better at understanding these different ways to monetize online.
You start to dial all these things in, and now we can scale this up and make a living. I love it. Hey, Sean. Hey, we're going to get back to the conversation in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you about where to stash the cash in a place that can earn you some really sweet interest. And that is a high-yield savings account offered by Laurel Road, a sponsor of today's video. Right now, your account balance earns 5.15% APY, plus a ton of other great perks. No minimum balance to open an account, FDIC-insured deposits, and no bogus monthly maintenance fees. And if you ever need assistance, Laurel Road's premium care team will take great care of you. No AI chatbots required. So make your money work as hard as you do by going to laurelroad.com/George, or just click the link in the description. That's laurelroad.com/George. And before we get back to the conversation, I want to tell you how to keep your personal info away from data brokers who are selling it for a profit. And for that, check out Delete Me, another sponsor of today's video. Delete Me finds and removes your info from hundreds of data broker sites and sends you an easy-to-read report. It's way better than trying to do it yourself, spending hours and hours sifting through these weird sites and filling out forms to remove your info. Life's too short and your time is too precious. So save time and stay protected with Delete Me. Right now, you can get 20% off any of their plans by going to joindeleteme.com/George, or just click the link in the description. All right, back to the conversation. All right, Sean, let's get our coffee. That's part of this.
Yes.
It's Millionaires in Cars getting coffee. Without that, it would just be Millionaires in Cars, which less exciting, to be truthful.
Well, I just realized though, because we did put our orders in ahead of time,
Yeah.
that it's 90 degrees in Nashville.
And you ordered.
Hot black coffee.
Why would you do that?
Here's our coffee order. Hello, good sir. What's your name?
I'm Johnny.
Johnny, thanks for the coffee.
Of course.
Appreciate it. Thanks for
you,
doing. I know
Johnny.
this is not your normal part of your normal deal to bring coffee out to guests,
It's all good.
but we appreciate it.
Special guest.
The first cut is the deepest, and the first sip is the bestest.
Someone should write a song about that.
Tell us about. Do you remember the day that you were like, "Oh my gosh, we have a $1 million net worth"? Like talking to your wife about this.
There was like no celebration. There was no like countdown to like, oh, we're officially like we're millionaires. Almost like it's still surreal. And I think
just
also
sort of a number on paper, but your life, because your life didn't change drastically when you hit this
actually didn't change at all.
number.
I mean,
You still lived
it
exactly how
has
you were
risen, conservatively risen with like a big gap between, you know, sometimes people's lifestyle inflates, and ours has gone up, but so smallly, you know, conservatively. Like I knew I made it, George, when I could go to Chipotle, and if they said, I go, I'll take guacamole, and they go, you know, that's going to be $2.75. And
like the big warning.
and I'm
you're like,
like,
yeah,
well, I'll take
I'm
two
good.
scoops then, actually. I'll take, you know,
So what is a splurge now for you? Like, what is something you've splurged on recently that, you know, 10 years ago would have blown your mind? But now it's like, no, this is worth it for me.
my splurge, I think we're starting to, experiences for sure. And even my wife and I will still say, oh, that hotel's too expensive. Like it's past a tipping point. That's ridiculous. You know, we might look and we'd be like, oh, we could be in the presidential suite, you know, put that on Instagram stories. Like, no, we don't need who cares? You know, that's
You
where
just
we're
do
at.
it for you out of convenience, and it's nice to have a little luxury you're paying cash for.
I don't know if you know about that line that like, that they talk about where it's like, it's true in like cameras. Like if you don't spend a lot of money, you can tell the quality's not very good. And then you spend a little bit more, but then eventually you get to this place where like the diminishing returns. Audio equipment could be that.
Oh, yeah.
And so I kind of feel like that too. Like,
Diminishing returns of money and happiness of like, okay, going way over here, it's not going to increase happiness by 10x just because you spent 10x.
or even just, you know, spending $100 on dinner each, 200. Okay, it could be, that's pretty nice. You know, maybe some very special places for like $250. If we're spending like $1,000 each, and maybe even been in those environments when somebody else was paying, and I like had it, I'm like, it wasn't even that
like,
good.
this is not $1,000 good.
It wasn't even good sometimes, and maybe that's a taste. You know, you're like, I literally would have loved to go to like a fuzz spot instead.
So why do you still do this? Because truthfully, you could probably go, all right, I'm good, gonna retire early, gonna go do something else. It's been fun. What keeps you motivated now? What is that why?
It was never about the money, although you need money for the mission. It was always about the mission. And I think on the one hand is because YouTube changed my life and has helped us create freedom. And I want to tell other people about that. But I think the other deeper why that drives me is the Bible really is our blueprint. And I see like a real lack in culture right now of values, of faith and family kind of being lost. And in a lot of ways, I see YouTube as like a mission field. I mean, Ramsey, the media company, is helping people in anxiety and mental health and relationships and money and leadership and business. And we need that. And so that's what kind of keeps me going is our company is about mission. Money is so important and it drives it. And also how can we lift now the families and the people that work for us? So I'm fighting for them, fighting for what could happen in the future. And I think Leaders asks not just like, what's in it for me or what can I get, but also asks, how far can we go? And how much of an impact can we make? And so that's what keeps me going.
That's beautiful. Well, man, this has been so fun. Would you request a like, subscribe, a share? I think in a way only you can do.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, George Kamel rhymes with Sean Cannell. Okay.
That's one reason.
But no, if you got value out of this video, super grateful. If you watch this long in the video, man, your attention could be a lot of places. And so really appreciate you being a part of this conversation. You could hit the like button, check out show notes in the description down below, and check out George's book. I mean, he's going to help you.
It's fire.
Not go broke.
This guy YouTubes. You can tell. That was a great, very low-key, not too salesy, just perfect amount of authenticity.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
It was authentic. I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing incredible work. And actually, if we can, put a link in the show notes. We had a conversation.
We did.
On my podcast, the Think Media Podcast.
How we grew this channel.
Yeah. And so I think checking that out, there's a ton of wisdom in that conversation. It was an honor having you in the show. And so if you're going to watch something next, that might be something to check out.
Well, man, make sure to check out all of Sean's content if you want to nerd out on how to successfully launch, grow, sustain a YouTube channel as a creator. Sean, always a pleasure hanging out with you, man. Thanks for being here.
George, thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation, and huge thanks to Sean Cannell for putting up with my shenanigans.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
If you like this video, be sure to check out this one to see what happened when I picked up Alex Hormozi to get some coffee/muscle milk at a gas station. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.